Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Hockey Talk with TG. I'm Ty Glenn, and you're listening to this on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your local podcast stream platforms. So today will be a short episode for today. It's not really that much to say. We're just going to be recapping yesterday's games along with kind of previewing today's games right here. And of course, there'll be no episodes this weekend because this podcast, you guys don't know already, this will air every weekday from 10:30 to 11, so there will be no episodes this weekend. I'll say that again at the end of my episode, like when I sign off and stuff. But anyway, let's get into it. So the New York Rangers, they advanced to the Eastern Conference Final with a 5-3 comeback win over the Carolina Hurricanes, and they'll play the winner of either the Boston Bruins or Florida Panthers. So if the Panthers can win tonight, they'll face the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final. That should be interesting. But if the Bruins win and force a Game 7 and win Game 7, then they'll face the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final. A little original six matchup, if you will. So we'll see what happens in that game. I saw in NBA wise, like the Rangers counterpart in the NBA, New York Knicks, they're leading the series 3-2 over the Indiana Pacers. And Game 6 of that series is today. And we'll see if the New York Knicks can join the New York Rangers and go to the Eastern Conference Final. But anyway, back to NHL wise. Chris Kreider. Got to give it up for Chris Kreider. He's the one that made it happen. He had a natural hat trick in the third period for the Rangers to move on to the conference final. And despite losing to the Rangers, the Hurricanes did outshot the Rangers 36-24 in Game 6. And I thought they had a decent Game 6. And I thought they were pretty good overall throughout the series, despite coming up short. I thought they were pretty good. They did put up a good fight, because you thought the Rangers, well, I didn't think, but some of you may have thought the Rangers were going to finish it off in a clean sweep. I, on the other hand, did not think that. I thought this series was going to go to 7 games. But the Hurricanes, they were resilient despite losing to the New York Rangers. They were resilient. And they put up a fight. They did put up a fight against the New York Rangers. I mean, they took Game 4. They took Game 5. They almost had Game 6 in the bag. But they ended up coming short. So they did try to put up a good fight against the New York Rangers. They did not back down. They were not going to get swept at all in this series. And the Hurricanes, they did have great chances. I mean, Sebastian Aho, after those two New York Rangers players collided in yesterday's game, he did have a good chance. Or Igor Shesterkin, Jordan Staal had some good chances. I think Jake Gensel had a great chance, but he missed the net. So the Hurricanes, they threw everything that they had at Igor Shesterkin. So we got to give it up to Carolina Hurricanes for trying not to back down in this series. And coming into the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Hurricanes were one of the odds favorites of taking home the Stanley Cup coming into the playoffs. So, yeah, and I kind of already knew that Hurricanes were not going to get swept. So, got to give it up to them. Got to give it up to the Carolina Hurricanes right there. Freddie Anderson, he had a great game as well. He had a great game overall. Great series overall, but in this game, he made 19 saves on 23 shots faced in net. Igor Shesterkin made 33 saves on 36 shots faced in net. And so there will be no Game 7. If there was to be a Game 7, it would have been tomorrow, but there is no Game 7 for that series. But all in all, great performance from both the Carolina Hurricanes and New York Rangers. Moving on to Game 5 for the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers. So JT Miller, he scored the late goal in the third period with 31.9 seconds left remaining as the Canucks win 3-2 over the Edmonton Oilers. And so the Vancouver Canucks, they lead the series 3-2, and they're one win away from advancing to the Western Conference Final. And if they do win Game 6, which Game 6 will be tomorrow night, May 18th at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time on ESPN. If they do win Game 6, then they'll advance to the Western Conference Final for the first time since 2011. And, of course, 2011, they went all the way to the Stanley Cup Final. They fell up short to the Boston Bruins. And if the Bruins can somehow, some way win Game 6 and Game 7 against the Panthers, we could potentially see a 2011 Stanley Cup Final rematch. I don't have that on my bracket. I don't have that on my bracket, but it could happen. You never know. But anyway, if necessary, if the Oilers do somehow win Game 6 tomorrow night, then there'll be a Game 7 Monday, May the 20th. So it'll be Monday, May 20th. And the Canucks, they outshot the Oilers 35-23 in this game as well. And Archer Slivasauce made 21 saves on 23 shots faced the net. Calvin Pickard for the Oilers made 32 saves on 35 shots faced the net. So, and this was a fun fact. The Canucks scored only one goal in each of the three periods. So that was kind of funny. So, Philip de Gouspier, I hope I pronounced the name right. He had the game tying goal in the second. And I forgot who scored in the first period for the Canucks. And, of course, JT Miller had the late goal right there. So, yeah, so that was kind of a fun fact that I wanted to point out. And I really did like Calvin Pickard's game. Like, ever since coming in relief for Stuart Skinner in that Game 3, of course, he didn't play that full Game 3 because he came in relief after Stuart Skinner was kind of having a bad performance. He started Game 4, he started Game 5, and I thought his game was like really good. I can't say too much because I'm not a goalie. I didn't play goalie in hockey. Like I always played the right wing forward position. Like I never played goalie in hockey before, so I can't really say too much on that. But I did like his game overall. I mean, I thought he was decent enough for the Edmonton Oilers. And also, fun fact, one time in the AHL playoffs, when the Oilers and Canucks AHL team was going at each other, we got to see Calvin Pickard and Archer Slivasauce making the start for that AHL playoffs. I don't know what year it was in, but I just wanted to point that out because I think when I was watching one of the games in the series, ESPN or TNT had pointed that out, and I just wanted to tell it to you guys on this episode. Anyway, NHL games for the slate. We got Game 6 of the Florida Panthers and Boston Bruins on TNT, True TV, HBO Max. So Brad Marchand could play in Game 6. I do apologize to y'all on like previewing Game 5 of the series. Like I did say that Brad Marchand will play Game 5. He did not play Game 5 and the only reason why I thought he would play Game 5 because before I started that episode one day, the day that I was previewing Game 5, I did say he could play Game 5 because I saw articles and notes that saying Brad Marchand will play Game 5. And then the next thing I know, I look on my Instagram page and it says that Brad Marchand will not play Game 5. So I was like, man, I'm like, why would they do that? But anyway, I'm not guaranteeing that he'll play in Game 6 tonight because I don't want to get off this episode and then I look on my Instagram or my Facebook page or wherever and say that he's not playing Game 6. So can't make any promises to that, but it is a possibility that he'll come back for Game 6. Of course, he was out for Game 4 and Game 5 due to that upper body injury and the hit from Sam Bennett in the third period of Game 3. But it is eligible that he could come back for Game 6. And if necessary, if the Bruins can somehow win Game 6 at home, there'll be a Game 7 Sunday night in the Sunshine State. Sunday, May 19th, there'll be Game 7 if the Bruins could somehow, some way win Game 6 against the Florida Panthers on home ice tonight in Beantown. And then, of course, we got Game 6 of the Dallas Stars and Colorado Avalanche on TNT, True TV, HBO Max. So we'll see if the Dallas Stars can finish the series in Colorado so they don't go to a Game 7 just like the Denver Nuggets are going to a Game 7 against the Timberwolves. But anyway, we'll see if the Dallas Stars can finish it off. Of course, Rope Hintz did not play Game 5 of that game, so I don't know if he's going to be back for Game 6, but we'll just have to see what will happen. So will the Dallas Stars finish it off? Will they become the second team to advance to the conference finals, or will there be a Game 7? I think there's supposed to be a Game 7 Sunday night if necessary. If the Avalanche win on home ice and they force a Game 7, we'll see. I think that'll be on Sunday night if that were to happen. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode. So wasn't really that much to talk about. So it was just a little short episode for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you that comes on the podcast, that comes and listens to my podcast every weekday from 10:30 to 11. And to the people who do listen to my podcast but yet aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel or aren't following it on their local podcast platforms, I highly encourage you to do so, because this is your number one podcast for all things hockey. Like, I bring you the best hockey content. If you want to stay up to date on the latest hockey content, I highly recommend you hit that big red subscribe button on YouTube and follow the podcast on all your local podcast streaming platforms. Because I'm telling you guys, there may be a lot of hockey fans. I will say that all of us do love the game of hockey, but nobody loves the game of hockey and is obsessed with hockey like I am. So, yeah, I bring you the best and up-to-date hockey content, and I just want to tell you that you need to subscribe to this podcast channel along with following it on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and other of your local podcast streaming platforms. Anyway, guys, so yeah, just 2 games on the slate for today. So Game 6, Panthers Bruins. We'll see if the Bruins can force a Game 7, or will the Panthers go on and play the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final. We'll see if the Dallas Stars can close it out tonight, and if they do, they'll play the winner of the Canucks and Oilers in the Western Conference Final, or will the Avalanche force a Game 7. So that's just for tonight. Like I said, once again, I thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you who watch or listen to my podcast but yet aren't subscribed or followed, recommend you do so. Like I said, I bring you the best hockey content and the latest up-to-date hockey content. And like I said, nobody loves the game or is obsessed with the game of hockey like I am. So, yeah, maybe a lot of hockey fans in the world. I will say that. I mean, who doesn't love hockey? And there may be a lot of hockey fans in the world, but like I said, nobody loves the game of hockey like I do. So I just wanted to say that a couple of times just to get it through your head. But hopefully you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you back here Monday to recap Friday's games. And if necessary, well, I don't think there'll be no games Saturday or possibly Sunday. So I'll be back on Monday to recap Friday's game. So God first, as always. Be blessed. Have a great day. Have a nice weekend. And I'll see you guys Monday. And peace.